Hey guys, my name is Brian Albiola. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Game Dev Coach. In this video, I'll be going over 6 common mistakes that Unity developers make that tend to waste the performance of their games. So without further much ado, let's get started. So the first mistake most Unity developers make has to do with the update loops. Don't use performance intensive things in update loops. Use caching instead. A typical example is access to components or other objects in scene or intensive calculations in your script. If possible, cache everything in awake methods or change your architecture to a more event-driven approach to trigger things when they are just needed. Number 2 is instantiations. For objects that are instantiated quite often, for example bullets in an FPS game, make a pre-initialized pool of them and just pick one already initialized when you need it and activate it. Then instead of destroying it when it is not required anymore, deactivate it and return it to the pool. The third mistake has to do with rendering. Use occlusion culling or LOD techniques to limit rendered parts of the scene. Try to use optimized models to be able to keep vertex count in the scene under control. Be aware, vertex count isn't just the number of vertices on the model itself, but is influenced by other things such as normals, UV coordinates, and vertex colors. Also, a number of dynamic lights in the scene will dramatically influence overall performance, so try to bake everything in advance whenever possible. The fourth mistake has to do with draw calls. Try to reduce draw call count. In Unity, you can achieve draw call count reduction by using static batching for still objects and dynamic batching for moving ones. However, you have to prepare your scenes and models first. Batched objects have to share some materials, and batching of dynamic objects works only for low-res models. Alternatively, you can combine meshes by the script into one, using the mesh.combine meshes, instead of using batching. But you have to be careful not to create too large objects which can't take advantage of view frustrum culling on some platform. In general, the key is to use as little materials as possible and share them across the scene. You will sometimes need to create atlases from textures to be able to share one material between the extinct objects. A good tip is also to use higher resolution of scene light map textures, not generated resolution but texture output resolution, to lower the number when you are baking light in larger environments. The fifth mistake has to do with shaders. Optimize your shaders for better performance. Reduce the number of passes. Use variables with lower precision. Replace complicated math calculations with pre-generated lookup textures. Always use a profiler to determine the bottlenecks. It's a great tool. For rendering, you can also use Awesome Frame Debugger, which will help you learn a lot about how things work in general when decomposing rendering processes with it. The sixth and final mistake is the overdraw problems. Don't use transparent textures when not necessary, as it will cause fill rate problems. It is okay to use it for complicated and more distant geometry, like trees or bushes. When you need to use it, prefer alpha blended shaders instead of shaders with alpha testing, or instead of cutout shaders for mobile platforms. For identifying these problems in general, try to lower the resolution of your application. If it helps, it might be possible that you have these fill rate problems or you need to optimize your shaders more. Otherwise, it can be a more memory problem. That's the end of the video, guys. If you liked it, don't forget to like, comment down below, and subscribe for more content on Unity and game development. Peace.